Hey guys, it's Mike Monte, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. And we want to reach out to all the fans out there who have supported our show to say thank you. Thank you for making 2021 one of our best years. And one of our best years was because of Anchor. Anchor, the way that you can have your voice heard. You can be just like us. Record your own podcast. Use the Anchor tools to edit your podcast. Use it on a phone. Use it on your computer. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all with Anchor, they're totally free. So be just like Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh. We're looking together for a great 2022. We've got huge guests coming on board. Oh, yeah. You probably wonder why Jimmy's not here right now. Well, he's prepping for one of the best interviews we're about to have, and we're going to surprise someone with. So hang aboard with us, and don't forget, be like us and use Anchor.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner, same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops? Why not add a little bit of spice or just a touch of heat to make the difference? Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
Dino Luzzi Energy Drink. Yeah, it's that good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the episode 4 of TODD, Todd Senofonte presents Stunts in Film, Stunts in Acting, and Stunts in Everything Else. So this episode, we're going to talk about acting as far as cue times, call sheets. Todd's going to explain to you what a call sheet is and how important it is for an actor to know what the call sheet reads and how to receive their call sheets. Because preparation meets opportunity, and if you miss out on the opportunity, you're going to miss out on the preparation. So without further ado, I turn it over to Todd Senofonte.
What is up? So yeah, call sheets are pretty much the cream of the crop. A call sheet is something that lists everything that you're going to do, what scenes, what to bring, what cast members are on for that day, and usually tells you the location, the call time, the crew time. Some of the times are different. Some people get there earlier, and then some of the actors, actresses, have a later call time. But I had this call sheet from Universal Soldier: The Return. Again, another memorabilia thing I'm going to bring up, and I had it laminated. So when we first started the movie, this was the movie that I was brought on at the end. The story I was telling you when I first moved to California in '99, I was staying with my buddy, and I borrowed his car to go over to the mall. Again, I was at the mall at the Sharper Image getting a massage. Little girl walks in. Hey, Jean-Claude Van Damme is out there. So I went out there, and there he was in the middle of the mall with his wife and kids. And I said, hey, Jean-Claude. He goes, hey, Toddy. He goes, I'm going to need you. Come with me to Texas to finish up Universal Soldier: The Return. Get all the information. So I was like, cool. So that was the with Goldberg and Michael Jai White. So in the beginning, the name of the film was called Universal Soldier 2. Initially, that was what the name of it, and then they changed it to Universal Soldier Return. But this is a call sheet, and I had it laminated, again, for memory purposes. And what the call sheet is, it's got the name of the film. It's got the producer's name, the director's name, the episode, okay, Universal Soldier Return. It says, shoot day 2 of 3. Now, these can range from when you first start a film, it'll say shoot day 1 of 50. But this was the one where I was brought on towards the end of the film. And then it lists the set. This is actually what's going to happen. It's an indoor cold room set. Luke and Seth battle. That's the very end of the film where the fight scene takes place. And then it usually tells you the scenes, the cast. The cast are numbered, so it's really easy when you look down on the cast. If you see your number, that means you're working that day. And then, it'll give you the pages, 1 page we did that day, and then locations. Then we went to the NPS studios, and it gives you the address. And then down in the middle, it actually has the cast members. It's got Van Damme, Michael Jai White, double, my name, and the rest of the guys working that day. And then on the bottom, it'll have atmosphere and stand-ins. So when the actors have stand-ins, they'll list the stand-ins on there, and atmosphere as follows. So on the bottom, it has advanced schedule. So you know exactly, next day. Sometimes they'll have 2 days in advance. So usually on the bottom, they'll have the advanced schedule. After this day we shoot, you go down here and you read, okay, we're going to go there. Okay. So that's the advanced schedule. And of course, on the bottom, it's got all the, emergency contacts in case something happens. That's the numbers to call. On the back, it'll list all of the departments, which again is cool because, it brings back memories. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember working with him. I got to look him up, see how he's doing. So it lists from the electrical guys, the makeup, the wardrobe, the art department, the construction, the gaffers, electrical department, the stunt department, the sound, the property master. The prop guys are the ones that actually have the guns, or if you need a baseball bat, or a lot of just in general the whole set. They're responsible for creating the set, and then additional requirements. Okay, for props, the rubber gun. We use a rubber gun, and then the grip, electrical. Okay, we're gonna need 2 cameras. We need some dirt, and we dust. And then the production, they need 7 walkie-talkies on the set. So for me, this is, and it says, okay, the crew call. You see on top, the crew call is 12 p.m. That means, that's what time the crew call is. And then the shooting call, I'm not sure if you can see it, but the shooting call is at 1:30. So you like to try to get everybody, on the set by 12, so you can have your breakfast, if it's a nice shoot, whatever they're serving. And then by 1:30, everybody's got to be ready. Everybody's got to be in their wardrobe, their hair and makeup, because everything is time and money, You never want to be late because it will affect you. You don't want to be that actor or actress that's always late. It's never a good idea to have a dark cloud over your head, especially in this business. So again, this is the actual call sheet from 1999. Pretty much to date, still similar layout from a call sheet today. And And then once you get on the set, they'll have a 3 or 4 pages and little paper, like a little script that they're called sides. So you can actually carry it around with you and look at your sides, in case, you forget your lines. You can, look over your lines in the honey wagon, or if you're at the craft service table, you take them out, you look at your lines, because when you're called, you got to be ready. So again, yeah, it does bring back a lot of really great memories. But yeah, that is a call sheet, and every TV show, movie, commercials all have call sheets, because you want to know what to do, where to go, and always be ready.
So I know, like today, they have what they call the shooting schedule, so you know exactly how many days the production is, and they have a day-to-day schedule, so you know who is working what days. Did you guys back then, when they did the cue cards, and I'm not cue card, but they did the call sheets rather? When they did the call sheets, did you guys have the day-to-day schedule back then?
Oh yeah, this is even sudden death. I think in my stores I do have the sudden death, and it's very similar to the one I laminated. I should go laminate those too. But yeah, nothing really has changed since 1994. They come prepared. Because again, everything is timed. You don't want to fall behind, because if you fall behind and you go overtime, that's more money, which is good for the actors. But those producers, when they put up that money, they want to get they want to get their money's worth, because they trust the cast that are going to perform at that professional level, and make the casting directors, producers look good.
So you, early on, man, you were basically booking everything on your own, like without representation. You didn't really have an agent. You really didn't have a management team. Like, how was it? How long was it in the business before you had an agent or you had a management team that were submitting you to projects?
I went through about 2 or 3 agents. I think the first agent I got was back in 2003, and when I presented everything I had, because I showed them my stunt reel, the fitness magazines, I thought when I moved to California, had all these movies under my belt, everything was going to be so easy, and it's not. So the agents I had, they really didn't market me correct. They were just pushing me in this one direction. And then when I would sit down and talk with them, and I showed them some footage, that I've done, acting reel, they just wanted to try to push me in the one direction. It wasn't just for the stunt work, but it was weird. Then when I, shied away from that one, I got another agent, and it was still the same thing. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't really need an agent right now. I just got to find my own work, build myself up, and then when it comes time, then maybe I'll need an agent. But back then, I was stapling resumes to my headshot. I was mailing them out. I was dropping them off. I remember I walked into this one casting director's door. It was open. And I was like, my name is Todd Senofonte. Do you have like a minute? Can I show you something? And we popped in my my reel, and she was like, wow, this is very impressive. Do you have representation? I said, no. I said, man, I'm pretty much got everything on my own. She goes, well, I suggest just keep doing what you're doing, and then when the time comes, maybe you will need an agent. But I'll keep this on file, She goes, I'm so, I'm grateful that you stopped in. But yeah, back then I was handing out cards, just networking, going to these, the premieres, sneaking into these parties, and just passing out cards and just rubbing elbows. I don't suggest that you stop doing that. Young actors and actresses, you do that, because you got to be your own agent and produce and publicist for when you're just starting out. I guess once you get to a certain level, then, you know, I'm not saying you can sit back and relax, but you'll have somebody that's pushing you out there and getting you out there where you need to be to show the talent that you have, not just, you know, doing the stunts, you know, but doing the acting, you know, acting, comedy, romance, drama, you know, everything. So you got to wear a lot of hats in this business. I never was really into writing or directing. I was just so focused back in the day of getting on set, doing what I need to do, and then, you know, go home. But what I should have been doing, I really should have been marketing myself more back then, because when I was brought on to work with Jean-Claude, you know, I was like, yeah, maybe let me just do what I got to do. You know, I don't want to create any waves or stuff like that. But in hindsight, you know, what I know now, you know, back then I should have been promoting myself more. But, you know, back then there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was no YouTube. Everything was just like in person, and, you know, word of mouth, and that's yeah, things have changed a lot since then.
So I know a lot of young actors, man, and actresses. I call everybody an actor because we're all performers, we're all actors. They have the misconception that things are going to happen for them right away. They're going to get into the business. They're going to start booking right away. Now, explain to the people who are just in the business or want to get into the business how much dedication, perseverance, and focus it takes, man, to really get out there before you are able to book your first gig.
If you're just starting out, have a plan B, have a plan C, and have a plan D. It is so rare that anything will happen overnight. I thought it was going to happen for me because I had these movies that I did under my belt. I had all these fitness magazines I did. And I thought I was going to come out here and just present everything, and I can sit back, relax. You have to have a thick skin in this business. It's not all glamorous, especially when you're first starting out. So many rejections. Auditions I went on, thought I nailed it, and then you don't hear back, and you think to yourself, man, what did I do wrong? Maybe it just wasn't the look. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right project. So that really, I got so numb to the rejections that I would go into an audition like, well, if I get it, I get it, you know. But it's good to have, you know, that hope that you're gonna like knock their socks off. And even if you do knock their socks off, again, it's just not that time. It's not, you didn't do anything wrong. It's the project. It's again, maybe you're not the right look that they're looking for, but you take every audition and you go to the next. Okay, that one's done. I didn't get it. All right, on to the next one. So I recommend that, you know, you just take every audition. You don't get it as a learning experience, because the more you're in front of the camera, the more you're auditioning, it's only going to help. But just be prepared for the rejection. It's going to happen more than you want, but that's the name of the game.
So how did coming from a military background, coming from an athletic background, you know, that requires a lot of and a lot of focus and a never say die attitude. Like, how much do you attribute that, your background, to being able to make it in the business?
Well, especially with the stunts, you know, you have to have some kind of athletic background. And the military helped out a lot. I took ballet back in 1988. That helped me with my flexibility. Mm-hmm. I know Jean-Claude, you know, took ballet too, and it works. I mean, just the certain movements you do, and I would always stretch out before I would go swimming. And it just helped me throughout my career, just being flexible and being an athlete all my life, since I'm 5 years old, football, baseball, basketball, tennis, bowling, golf. I come from a very athletic family. My uncles were great athletes. My dad was a great athlete. My mom's dad was a professional boxer in the 30s. And here's a story for you. So I got the best of both worlds as far as coming from an athletic family. My mom's dad was a boxer in the 30s, New York. He was also a cab driver. So my mom told me the story. He had a fight coming up. So I was told that he picked up this passenger, and it was his last passenger of the day. So he called my grandmother. Said, "Okay, honey, I have one more, and I'll be home." So he picks up the passenger, gets to the destination, and then bang, right in the back of the head. The story is that he was asked to take a dive, and he wouldn't. I still get goosebumps thinking about that story of. It was a hit. It was a hit on him, and because he wouldn't take a dive, they shot him, which was. I think if he was still alive, and if I had a chance to meet him, he probably would have got me at the boxing. And like the more I think about that there would have been. Because I love boxing, love MMA. It would have fit right in with all the athletic ability I have, and but yeah, that's a story I haven't told too many people, but I do get my athletic ability from both sides, my mom's side and my dad's side.
And then you did another film where you were actually the stunt coordinator on. I haven't heard of this one, called Shepherd. So you want to talk about Shepherd? Tell us what that is.
Shepherd, again, yeah. Again, my buddy, Dave Shark Freilich, he was a coordinator on it. And he called me up one day and he goes, "Look, man," he goes, "I'm going to need you to fill in for me for one day. Are you interested in coordinating for the day?" I was like, "Yeah, well, what's the scene?" He goes, "Oh, it's nothing crazy. All we're doing is a little punch. Show this actor, how to punch and, sell it for the camera." And, a lot of actors are not very, well, I'm not saying, a few actors, they really don't have the coordination. So it was cool. All I had to do was, and the key in these fight scenes is selling the punch, and depending where the camera is and reaction. So I had to show this one actor, now I'm gonna throw a punch at you. I want you to react. I said, and he was like, I was like, no, okay. So I said, "Okay, you throw me a punch." So that he would, throw me a punch. I said, "That's how you got to sell it. But maybe a couple of inches away from, the actor's face. And we had to put the camera a certain angle where you really can see it, selling." So that was my first, stunt coordinator, project, but it was cool. Again, you got to meet all these other actors, and they would come over to me and ask me, questions. And it was cool. It was cool to teach them just simple little things like throwing a punch, reacting. So the Shepherd, yeah, that was a fun little project.
So actually, I was a professional wrestler for 9 years, and that's the same terminology that we use, selling. So you have to make it look real, believable for the audience, and same with them. You got to make it look real to the audience. So explain some of that. Like, how do you pull your punches? How do you know exactly where to to your mark, I call your mark, would stop without actually executing through, say, like a hard roundhouse kick without hitting the guy in the face?
It's all about rehearsing. You rehearse until you can't rehearse anymore, because when it's time to shoot, I mean, you've got to be perfect, because you don't want to hit the other actor or actress. You know, we would rehearse for hours, you know, just to get a one kick or a one punch. But some of these, you know, big fight scenes, it takes days, you know, just to coordinate it, just to get your timing down. And again, you know, depending where the camera is, you know, that's where you move yourself, you move the actor. Okay, so the camera's there, so move a little bit. Yeah, stay right there. And then when you throw that punch, and you know, it looks perfect. So a lot of preparation. A lot of the stunt coordinators will videotape it, you know, and then show it to the director, or show it to you know, like for Jean-Claude, you know, the stunt coordinator would go through a little scene, and he would show us, oh, okay, that's good, yeah, okay, yeah, that's good, yeah, that's good. And then, you know, and then when it's time to shoot, so preparation is the key, you know. You do it until, you know, you can do it in your sleep.
So you did another film called Cranium Intel, which you actually are getting ready to do the sequel part 2 now, Cranium Intel Magnetic Contamination. You want to talk about those films?
Those are animated films. The first one, all we did is I did voiceovers. Mm-hmm. And I would go to the studio in Burbank, and the director gave me the lines, you know, and I had my video and just, you know, deliver the lines, and then they would take that, they would send it to the director. The director, I think, was in on the East Coast. So we did all the voiceovers here, and they would send it to him, and then he would, you know, do his thing and do the animated. Supposedly 2 is going to happen. It's going to be the same thing. Don't really have to be, you know, on set. It's more of just the voiceovers. But I think voiceovers, that's another interesting industry, because that is probably the hardest job to get. There's so much you have to do. You have to, you know, you got to make your CDs and you know, duplicate them. So it's expensive. But then again, it's about timing, luck, and if the director likes your voice, you can make a good living on voiceovers. You know, voiceover actors and actresses, they make a good living. That would be nice to wake up, put your hat on, throw on your shorts, go to the studio, do your voiceover, you get a check, you go home. That's a perfect job.
Well, I think the perfect job is doing anything that you love, that you have a passion for, and you love what you do and do what you love. And that's why I say what we do, what I do is not work, because I wake up every morning and I look forward to going to do it, man. And there's a lot of people that can't say the same thing. We're blessed that way. You did another movie, man. I have actually some viewing to catch up on. Another film that escaped me, actually, called Beyond the Trophy, with my man Michael Madsen and my client Eric Roberts. I had no idea you worked with those guys on that film, man. How did that come about?
Again, a similar situation where I didn't meet Eric or Madsen. All I knew, I was playing a bartender that jumps over the bar and breaks up a fight. So it was one of those very short days. But again, you know, any job, you never know what can happen. So that was, I got that through a stunt coordinator that called me up that said, you know, we just need you to, you know, be behind the bar. When you see the fight, you know, you hop over the bar and you go break it up. But again, yeah, Eric and Madsen's another he's another great actor that has done a lot of films, been around the block. But yeah, the trophy was another one that was one of those really, really short days. But hey, you know, it was work.
So to date, what do you say your best experience was, not doing stunts, but as an actor? Like, I want to hear about your best experience you've had acting.
I'm going to have to say it's the Rideshare Killer because it was my biggest role. And I'll never forget the day I was on the couch when you called me up. Hey, I got this film. You play a killer. I was, really? Oh, yeah, Eric Roberts. Whoa, I'm in. But, you know, just because I like that dialogue. And again, it was a time where I was still trying to transition, getting away from the stunts and to get, you know, my name and face out there as an actor and not just, you know, a photo double or a stunt double. So I would say the Rideshare Killer, and it's a good film. You know, it came out, you know, it's on Amazon and Tubi. So that experience there will probably be to the top so far.
So I know we talked about acting school before, I think on one of the earlier episodes, and when you came to Hollywood or California in 1999, you started training with Bobby Chance's acting school. My question is, did you learn more as an actor through acting school, or did you learn more actually being on set, learning firsthand? Like, what do you attribute to your success in acting?
The best acting class is being on set. Yeah, you can go to acting schools and you know, act scenes out. But for me, just being on the set, knowing what to expect, and just experiencing what it's all about. I'm not saying acting classes aren't good, but acting classes are great. The more you act, the better, you know, you become. But for me, being on set was the best acting class for me. Watching and listening to the director, direct the actors, actresses, you know, don't upstage him. Just a little lingo like that, you know, check the gate, you know. Again, kids today don't know what check the gate is. Now it's all chips and SIM cards. But for me, just being on set, learning from Roger Moore and all these great actors, you know, what they're doing and watching them. Just them listening, because even though they've been in the business for years and years, the director is the captain. So whatever the director says, you know, you got to do, unless you have a better idea, which is rare. But acting classes are great. Bobby Chance, I studied with Leo Rossi and Steve Schneider, and then I just stopped. And then I just, you know, because I've pretty much seen it all from all those films I've done. Maybe one day I will go back to it, but I think right now I'm just more focused on, you know, getting the work now and capitalizing on what I know and you know, what I've done.
Well, to me personally, my favorite dramatic role that you've had to date was in a short film called A Reason to Live. I think that had really showed your dimension as an actor. Like, there's different levels to acting. I don't know what you feel about that experience, but I love that role you had in the film. I think it showed your dramatic range.
Yeah, A Reason to Live did that for free because I needed footage. And when they sent me the script, I was like, wow, this is really deep. Because what it is my wife and kids were killed, and prior to that my dad died. So in the scene, I'm out for revenge. I'm out for revenge because I see the guys that actually killed my family at a park. I'm at a park bench and I see them, and I'm thinking, so what do? I see them over there, and they were jogging around, and they stop, and I get up from the bench, I go over, I have a knife, and, you know, I do the same thing to them. And then I come back, and when I sit back, I got to think about, you know, what they've done, what I've done. And then at the end, you know, I take my own life. So that was interesting film for me because I had to think of really sad episodes. I would, my pet's dying, and that's where the tears came down. So that was a powerful part for me. It's actually on YouTube too, A Reason to Live.
And then you did one I thought had a lot of promise to it. I'm not exactly sure what happened to it, but I think it was meant to be a series, or it was a mini series called Champion Road, the series. You remember that project?
Yeah, Champion Road. Yeah, that was it was a TV series. I played the character of Connor. Again, there was another really cool scene because when I was talking to the girl, it was a very serious conversation. So yeah, actors are interesting people. You got to find, that place, whether it just happened or way back in the day, to get you in that mindset to be ready for that for the scene. And yeah, Champion Road, that was a nice little project too.
Mm-hmm. So we got about 4 minutes left. Any words of inspiration, man, to people that want to get into our business, that are starting out, finding a hard way to navigate through the industry? I mean, any words of inspiration you can give?
I would say try to get as much background work as you can, so you actually can get a sense of what the business is. It's a lot of, hurry up and wait, a lot of sitting around. It's not all glamorous like people think. I would, if you're just starting out, I would recommend, taking acting classes, act with your friends. Because when I was in high school, I was a president of our drama club, and it was so much fun. So I would recommend, if it's what you really want to do, again, that thick skin, let it grow, because there's going to be a lot of rejection. Just stay focused, and if it's a dream, pursue it, because again, you never know. It's all about timing and luck.
And I think recognizing opportunity when it presents itself and taking hold of that opportunity and utilizing that opportunity to your advantage is a big thing in this industry also.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So on that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of episode number 4 of Todd Senofonte, TODD. You have any departing words?
TODD out, train hard, think positive, and have fun.
And on that, we'll see you next time. Peace out.